waiting for the thumbs up to get the go ahead so we can pull on out of here and begin our tour. Alright, wave goodbye to those people still in line. You'll see them later in the theme park. The princess wave is elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, cross your heart and blow a kiss. Ta-ta! I do have a co-host on my tour today. You might know him from The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon on NBC. It is Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Elizabeth.
And the greatest driver.
Mike.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Elizabeth
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety
opportunities, but keep an eye on them so they don't get wet. Finally, for your safety and those around you, please do not use selfie sticks while you are on board. Alright, those are the rules. Let's get to the fun stuff. The reason you are here, the magic of movie making. We are headed down Universal's movie timeline. And on either side of the tram, you'll see just a few of the thousands of movies we've made here in our last 107 years. I see some people pointing out films they may recognize. Maybe your favorite movie is on our timeline, and you didn't know that Universal made it, but yep, it's ours. On March 15th, 1915, our founder Carl Laemmle opened the movie studio gates to guests just like you and dubbed this the strangest city in the world. And we are a real city. It's called Universal City. Our zip code is 91608. On your right, that is our fire station. Those are not actors. They're the real superheroes that keep our theme park and movie studio safe each and every day. We have our own medical services and a sheriff's station. We have honorary mayors throughout the years. We have 2 Starbucks, a Coffee Bean, 2 hotels, a movie theater. We are just like your city at home, except here we don't have any permanent residents. However, we do film 365 days a year, 24 hours a day. Now we are headed down to our front lot, and our front lot houses 28 sound stages. So what's a sound stage? Well, it's essentially a giant warehouse where filmmakers can build anything their imaginations will allow. Take a look on your left. This is our first sound stage 12. And it used to belong to The Voice. The doors are wide open. Take a peek. The Voice has moved to other sound stages near our western sets, and you'll see them later in our tour. Now, Kelly Clarkson, unfortunately, did not return as a coach this season, but don't worry, if we were to make a left and a few more turns, eventually we'd run into Soundstage 1, where she films the Kelly Clarkson Show, celebrity interviews. On your left, we're driving by Soundstages 16 and 17. Those used to belong to Superstore, starring America Ferrera and Ben Feldman. Currently inside those sound stages is the TV show Hacks. It airs on HBO Max, and it stars Jean Smart, who's an Emmy award-winning actress, director, and writer. Also on our property, we work on the TV show Bel Air. Bel Air airs exclusively on Peacock, which is our streaming service. So don't do it now, but later when you get home, go to peacock.com, and you'll see a lot of brand new shows like Bel Air, Rutherford Falls, our newest show, Angeline, and a lot of your old favorites like The Office and Friends. And a lot of it is for free, so definitely I highly recommend you logging on to the website or downloading the app. On your left is Soundstage 21. That's where Saved by the Bell got their 2-season reboot. That starred Mario Lopez and Elizabeth Berkley. Mario Lopez continues to work at our movie studio. He films Access Hollywood over at near our City Walk area. So good for us. On your left is Base Camp for Never Have I Ever. Those are where the celebrity trailers are located. And hair and makeup and wardrobe. Back on your right is Soundstages 43 and 44, which used to belong to The Good Place, starring Kristen Bell and Ted Danson. Ted Danson did not go very far, though. He continued to work at our movie studio in his TV show, Mr. Mayor. On your left, I've got another Ted for you. Ted is having his lunchtime martini, and Ted is here because Ted and Ted 2 were produced by Bluegrass Productions, which used to have their offices in our production bungalows. On your left-hand side, these bungalows started as dressing rooms to the stars. Stars like Doris Day, Rock Hudson, Tony Curtis, They were what we call contract players at Universal, meaning they had to fulfill a certain amount of movies working for us before they could go to other studios like MGM or Paramount. Now, of course, actors can go between studios all the time, sometimes working for 2 studios at the very same time. Right now, we're driving by 7 Bucks Productions, and you might not know what that is, and that's okay. But I bet you know who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is. Yeah, his offices are right over there. I always hope he's going to pop out and profess his love to me. Not right now, but I will be here the rest of the day. And through the weekend, I will never give up hope. Bungalow 5195 on your left has a very famous silhouette on the outside. That was the office of the incomparable Alfred Hitchcock when he worked at our movie studio. He's the director of movies like Psycho, Vertigo, The Birds, and Rear Window. Also on your left, we have sound stages 22 and 23. And these look a little different than the other ones we just drove by, right? And you're right, these are some more of our contemporary sound stages. They have some offices attached. On the second floor is wardrobe and dressing rooms for the stars. That's also where we do our hair and makeup for the celebrities. So if we need to rewrite the script, we don't need to go to a trailer or a base camp or a bungalow. We can just step off set, rewrite the script, and head back to work. Same thing if we need a costume change. It's really easy peasy. Take a look inside that soundstage. That's where Kenan Thompson and Chris Redd filmed their 2 seasons of Kenan. Alright, we have left the front lot and are entering the back lot where we film our really big stuff. On your right is Brownstone Street. Many famous celebrities have lived on Brownstone Street, like Jim Carrey and Bruce Almighty, Mindy Kaling and The Mindy Project, and in one of my favorite movies, Annie. That's where Annie meets her dog, Sandy. Yes, Annie's being chased by the dog napper, and Annie saves him. Now we are turning into our Courthouse Square area, where they currently film Rutherford Falls.
Jana, are you excited?
For what?
We're on the world famous Universal Studio Tour, and right there in front of us is a tram full of guests staring at us.
Hello!
Hi, Studio Tour.
Oh, this is so cool. Do you know what else I'm excited for?
Tell me.
I'm thrilled to be in this legendary spot known as Courthouse Square. It may not look like much now, but for our show, Rutherford Falls, an incredible team of artists, designers, and builders transformed it into a fictional community where our awesome characters live.
That's right. Our production team brought in street lamps, props, window dressings, painted the sidewalks, and put up decorations to trick your eye into thinking this town is real, when in fact, it is fake.
Yeah, Ed, am I real?
I think so. Am I? Are we? Is anything real, Jana?
Are we real?
There, you're real. Yes,
Okay,
you're
okay.
real. We're good.
Okay.
We're good. Okay.
Thank goodness. Really had me worried there.
Yeah.
We are about to turn onto New York Street, one of the longest streets on our back lot, and it's good that it's nice and long because we film episodes of American Ninja Warrior out here. Anybody seen the show before? Yeah, this is where they build their long obstacle courses and the athletes are diving, jumping, and swinging, trying to beat the buzzer. Also, my co-host, Jimmy Fallon, is in Stranger to New York. After all, that's where he films The Tonight Show. Here he is to tell you about his favorite town.
Hey everyone, welcome to New York. I got my start right here in New York on Saturday Night Live. This is actually my old neighborhood. Once got mugged over there. An old woman, tough lady. This is my favorite hot dog guy. Hey buddy, how's it going? Remember me? No. Just like old times. Gotta love New York City. Hey, I'm walking here. Hey, it's cool guys. I was just walking there. So it's not exactly New York, but a lot of times when you see New York in the movies, it was shot right here on the Universal Metro sets. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Even if you make it here on the Universal lot.
And you'll see on your right, there's a sign that says Happy Birthday Jordan. I don't know who that is, but it could be for Jordan Peele, one of our favorite directors. We've also worked with this guy, Peter Jackson.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your world. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. It was great to have you along for the ride. Now, we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Please stay seated with your arms, legs, and cell phones inside the tram. There is no flash photography. Hold on tight to your belongings and each other. And welcome to Skull Island. Was brought to you on screens that stand 40 feet tall and 180 feet wide, some of the largest in the world. Peter Jackson teamed up with Weta Digital. Weta Digital has won 6 Academy Awards for movies like Lord of the Rings and Avatar. They've also worked on 2 of my favorites, Guardians of the Galaxy and Deadpool.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from
This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away. We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. That amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
I love that. Yep, okay, good. Mr. Peter Jackson is very humble about his own attraction for as awesome as it is. In our mini movie, part of our tram got pulled on camera. And when a vehicle appears on screen, it's what we call a picture car. Picture cars can be as large as our tram or as small as a go-kart. And sometimes they become almost as famous as the actors who drove them. So we're going to take a look at some of our favorites. Coming up on your left-hand side, first off, we have KITT from the 2008 Knight Rider reboot. And then we have Tom Selleck's Ferrari from Magnum PI. In Courthouse Square, we use some of these Back to the Future cars from the original and part 2. My favorite cars out here are the Flintstone mobiles because they are man-powered. We have Angeline, our newest show, her 1982 Chevy Corvette. Now that's based on a real woman named Angeline, and she would take her real Chevy Corvette and drive it up and down Sunset Boulevard all over Hollywood, and she was basically famous for being famous. We had our Jurassic World gyrosphere back there. Does anyone know what was missing on the outside? Let's say it together. The glass, that's right, the glass is missing. The glass is all CGI or computer-generated imaging. It can be hard to film around shiny objects because you're going to get the reflection of the camera and the lights lighting the actors, not to mention it'd be impossible to keep clean. Yeah, boats can be in movies too. That's from Jurassic Park 3, and it filmed over at our Falls Lake area, which we'll be driving by towards the end of our tour. On your left, we have our giant mobile lab that was used in the Lost World Jurassic Park. That was the second of the series, and it starred Jeff Goldblum because he's in all of them, right? Oh no, sorry about that. Jeff Goldblum, Vince Vaughn. Oh, guys, come on, I'm just trying to get the cast list out. Okay. Jeff Goldblum, Vince Vaughn, Car 3. Right now, Car 4 is if I were you, I would, let's see, 12 o'clock was their feeding time, so it's our fault, not theirs. How many people didn't believe me when I said you might get wet today? Okay, this is your second warning, just putting it out there. Now the mobile lab was seen in a really memorable part of the movie where it's being pushed off a cliff by a T-Rex, dangling by its rear wheels, except it wasn't a cliff at all. It was one of our parking garages that we drove by on our front lawn. And if you remember the scene, it was raining, it was pouring, the T-Rex was roaring, but if we filmed it right here in beautiful sunny Southern California, we can't just wait for rainy days, so we're pulling into Old Mexico to show you how we create bad weather. The thunder is coming from large speakers on top of the buildings. The lightning is coming from strobe light effects, also on top of the buildings. And there's the rain. The rain is coming from a very high-tech complex system. In Hollywood, it's pronounced sprinkler. That's right, there's a giant sprinkler, as you can see from the poles hiding in the trees. It keeps the water up, it falls down enough, and it looks like rain. We can create very fine mists or total torrential downpours with just the twist of a nozzle. Old Mexico isn't for flash flooding, so if we could get the water turned off, please. Oh no, I jinxed us. Watch out for your cell phones. No one is safe. Universal does go green and recycles that water to the top of the hill for the next grand devastation. Flash flood was seen in a movie called Big Fat Liar, starring Frank Muniz, Amanda Bynes, and Paul Giamatti. Take a look. Behind on our entering 6 points are Western sets. Yeehaw! These sets are some of the oldest that we've had on our property. So we are going to pull forward and take a picture stop so you can get some photos and videos and a good look around. But of course, please remain seated as you do so. I'm going to mention it again. Angeline filmed out here one of her very first episodes of the first season that we're working on. And also a movie called Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and Leonardo DiCaprio. Now they use this as a movie studio, so part of the movie is about an actor and he's making a TV show. They were able to use these sets from all different angles, because you're going to see on your right in the apothecary and the clothing store, the last building on your left, these buildings don't even have back walls. And you might be thinking, wow, these are really run down, but no, 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 these are what we call facades. Facades are just the fronts and sides of buildings. We don't need entire structures to make a building look real. All we do is we put some clothing in the window, close the curtains, put a cowboy and a horse apron, And no one at home knows the difference except you. Now you know one of Hollywood's most major and longest secrets. On your left are some of our newer sound stages. That's where The Voice has moved to. And I can't believe they are in their 22nd season. 22 seasons of a TV show is pretty amazing. And they film it right here on our property. Part of the show that's really awesome is that they have a live studio audience. And you must be wondering, well, who do they pick? How can I be in the audience? I'm going to tell you. You're going to go to the website oneiota.com and apply to be on a bunch of different TV shows, including The Voice. And then if you're picked, if you're chosen, you come back to NBC, not as a tourist, but as a guest of our company. And you get to see your favorite celebrities and musicians hard at work. We're approximately at the halfway point of our tour, so I just want to remind everybody to please stay seated, and if you drop something of value or have to go to the restroom, pull the right cord, and if it is safe for me to exit the tram, I will do so. We're now entering another very historic place on our back lot. We call this area Little Europe because we can be anywhere in Europe. We can be in Spain or Italy, France or Germany. All we have to do is change the language on the signs, add some flags and some set decoration, and we are in a brand new country. I'm going to show you what I mean. Because on your left-hand side, take a look at these windows. Right now, we are in Italy. See how easy that is? To change up our sets, it doesn't have to be a real country. It was Genovia and the Princess Diaries to a royal engagement. And it was the afterlife in a TV show called The Good Place.
You, Eleanor Shellstrop, are dead.
Cool.
This
location, the afterlife. Come on. I have never ever seen this.
You're in the good place.
I'm not supposed to be here. I can't risk going to the bad place.
Maybe it's not all that bad.
Hi there. How can I help you?
What is the bad place like?
Well, it doesn't sound awesome.
Why we can go inside. If it were a kitchen or a living room, obviously they wouldn't let us inside their set. But please stay seated, hold on tight to your belongings, you know the drill. There's some camera equipment on your left, on your right. There's some turnstiles. I really like those. I think those are a nice touch. Up by me, there's a sign that says, "Welcome to San Francisco." So if we're using our context clues, we must be in San Francisco. I also, okay. This is a small California river. They happen from time to time. Everything, okay. This could be the big one. Hold on tight. because we're headed to the East Coast to an island called Amity Island. Now, full disclosure, they did have a shark problem at one point. But take a look on your right-hand side. He's all strung out with a big smile on his face. My friend David is out there. David is a police diver, making sure there are no more sharks. Absolutely no more sharks. Oh no, do you see that fin? Could be a shark. Could be a dolphin. Let's keep it positive. There's it. Oh, there's David. Hey, David, can you check on that for us? David. Oh no, that is definitely not a dolphin. Get out of there, man! You, David! You have a lot of guts to be out there. There they all are. There's some shark bait in that yellow barrel. We're gonna pull to the other side over here. Hopefully the shark will take the bait and leave us alone. Oh good, he's taking the bait. Oh no, he's taking the entire pier with him. This is not good, guys. Not good with the flammable gas tanks. I keep telling them, move the gas tanks. Hello. All right. I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Elizabeth, that shark looks pretty fake up close. But I heard some screams, so it makes me wonder. If you look over your shoulder, you'll see the only shark in the world that can do the backstroke, and that's Bruce. Yes, Joss, his name is Bruce. Now, Bruce had an interesting time starring in his own movie. They built him right here in LA and tested him out in pools of fresh water. But Steven Spielberg insisted that everything moved from LA to the East Coast, off the coast of Martha's Vineyard, to film in the Atlantic Ocean. But nobody thought ahead to test out Bruce's mechanics in salt water. And on the very first take, he sank to the bottom of the ocean.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work hardly at all. Wherever you were.
That's a closed set. That's where they're going to be filming later this afternoon. On your right, this building is called our Chicken Ranch. The Chicken Ranch is a practical set, meaning we can film inside and outside, upstairs and downstairs. It's like a little house. It was used in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, starring Dolly Parton and Burt Reynolds, as well as Father's Day, starring Billy Crystal and the late, great Robin Williams. And that entire building was built inside of a soundstage. Now I just looked over my shoulder because I want to see if it's true. It is true. You guys, again, are so lucky. You are getting the whole tour today. We are on Colonial Street, and this street is always closed to guests. Like I said, never have I ever. They use this as their neighborhood. They have taken over our movie studio, as you can tell by how much I talk about it. Elizabeth Banks recently came out here for a week. So again, guests didn't get to come see our Colonial Street. So you guys are really lucky. Many famous celebrities have lived on Colonial Street, and the Blue House on your right is where Marcia Cross lived in ABC's Desperate Housewives. So yeah, if the street looks a little familiar, it was also Wisteria Lane. Next door to her, the Brown Home, is where we filmed an Ace Hardware commercial. So we don't just do TV shows and movies. We also work on commercials and music videos. Michael Bublé came out here to film on our Colonial Street for a music video. We also do photo shoots. Even student films are allowed on our property. The students at New York Film Academy get to boast that they filmed their movies on a real live movie studio. Not a lot of film students can say that. Now, I've mentioned ABC, Fox, HBO Max, Netflix. We are a rental facility, so if you need a soundstage or a set, you don't have to be part of NBC Universal. If we have the time and space, we're happy to lend it to you. On your right, in the Yellow and Stone House, is where Terry Hatcher lived, and ABC's Desperate Housewives, as well as the original Hardy Boys. Next door to them is the infamous 1313 Mockingbird Lane from The Munsters. And next door to them, in the beige home, is where Jimmy Stewart lived in the movie Harvey. with his good friend Harvey. Now, I'm sure a lot of you know, if you're here at Universal and you're Minions fans, tomorrow is the big day. It's Minions: The Rise of Gru.
Minions, assemble! This mission will take everything we've got.
We started to think about making a movie.
And we want you to come out here to film camping scenes and hiking scenes like Netflix did for the movie Bird Box starring Sandra Bullock. A lot of her camping scenes and running through the woods while she was blindfolded took place right out here. Again, we will use every square inch of our property. If you see it, you can use it. We don't let anything go to waste. Now, we have a brand new section on our tour if you haven't been here in a while. The industry folks call it Picture Cars 2.0, so that's what I will call it as well. More picture cars on your right. This yellow vintage car was used in American Graffiti, co-directed by George Lucas. The red double-decker London bus was seen in Arrested Development and some of my favorite scenes. We have Bumblebee in the corner, and these bright, fancy new sports cars are from F9, the latest movie. Now, Vin Diesel just announced that the newest movie will be called Fast 10, as in fasten your seatbelts. Now, those are some really nice cars, but they are parked in a really bad neighborhood. This is the site of the Bates Motel from the 1960s hit thriller Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock, starring Anthony Perkins and Janet Leigh. And the sign does show vacancy. So if you're not happy with your air, hang on. Someone's out there that just looks like Norman Bates. Bates Motel. Obviously, he owns the place. He's checking the trunk. Probably loading up someone's luggage. I will fully admit to being an overpacker. I am always paying the surge. Okay, that was not the kind of luggage I was talking about. We weren't even supposed to stop, so if we could, hey Norman, hey bud, be cool, we're cool. Just 157 of my new best friends. Stay back, Norman. 6 feet back, Norman.
Wow.
He reminds me of my ex-boyfriend.
We are safe.
Psycho.
We are safe.
On your left-hand side, we have the home of Mother Bates, also from Psycho. Sometimes you can see her in her second-story window, rocking back and forth in her rocking chair. But she really creeps me out. I can see her from over here, so I'm just gonna hide. She haunts my work dreams like nobody's business. We're now entering one of the most amazing sites ever created here on our backlot. This is the crash site from War of the Worlds, starring Tom Cruise and Dakota Fanning, directed by Steven Spielberg. Now, for real, we're going to take a picture stop so you can get some photos and videos and a good look around. But please, of course, remain seated as you do so. Here's the production designer, Rick Carter, to tell you about Steven's vision.
Airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
It's like, to sit down to talk about the world. I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep pressing me. Listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
Yeah, Robbie, get in. What are you doing, bro? There's aliens out there. Oh my goodness, that's a spoiler alert, but oh my goodness, it came out 18 years ago. You would have seen it if you wanted to by now. That is a real Boeing 747, like used to fly through the air with people inside airplane. When it retired, production bought it for $60,000, which doesn't seem too bad. For an entire airplane, it cost them $200,000 to get it to our back lot. They chopped it up into pieces, drove it through LA traffic. Could you imagine? And it landed right here.